Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can build this material bottom tab navigator using React Navigation version 4.0 and higher. So as you can see over here that this is the iOS simulator, and over here we have 4 different bottom tab navigation option. So if I'm clicking on any one of these tab, then that screen is appearing. So this is the profile tab, the profile screen is appearing over here, and this is the home screen, right? So this is for the iOS and this is for the Android, and this is the material bottom tab navigation. So the material animation can be seen in Android emulator, right? You can see the ripple effect over here, which we cannot see in iOS. So this is the thing which I'm going to implement in this tutorial. And also I have made few other tutorials regarding React Navigation version 4 previously. So in this tutorial I'm only going to focus on this material bottom tab navigator. So if you are interested in this kind of tutorial, then hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the tutorial. So as you can see over here, this is a fresh new React Native install, and in our iOS simulator our app is running. But in this app I have installed few other dependencies. Let me show you what I have installed. So first of all, we need to install React Navigation for material bottom tab navigator, right? So this is the React Navigation and the version is 4.0.10, and with it we have other dependencies. So if you haven't seen my previous tutorial in which I have shown you how to install the React Navigation 4.0 and higher, then you can check the tutorial. I will put that tutorial link in the description below, and from the I button also you can find that tutorial. And also we need to install React Native vector icons. As you can see over here that I have installed that dependency as well, right? And I have imported it over here and I have added this. So here we can see we have an icon. To implement material bottom tab navigator, we need to install React Native vector icons. Let me show you that. This is our React Navigation website, and let me go to this docs menu, and over here for the API references I will go here, create material bottom tab navigator. Okay, so this kind of layout we want to achieve. So for that we need to install these dependencies, and over here it is mentioned that we need to first install React Native vector icons. So only for this we need to implement that. So I have already added that, so now I can go ahead and add this dependency. And I don't have the yarn, so I'm not copying all this command. I have installed npm, so I will type npm install, then I will paste the command. So now hit enter. So it has been added, and now let's see what we need to do. So now we can see that we need to import material bottom tab navigator like this, and then we can configure our route and tab configuration as well. So let me show you. Here first I'm going to import React Navigation, and from React Navigation I will import create app container. So this is required for React Navigation, and then I will import the create material bottom tab navigator API from React Navigation material bottom tabs. Now I'm going to remove this app. So I have removed it, and for the style also I am going to remove all these styles. I will use a style called container only, and for the container I will provide flex property 1, justify content center, and align items will also be center. And now let me create some screens. So first I am going to create home screen. So class home screens extends react.component, and for the render method I will return view, and for view style I will give styles dot container. Okay, it should be the first bracket, and within this view I will provide a text which is home screen. Okay, so this is just to distinguish from the screen elements. Now after this home screen I will create other three screens as well, so I'm copy pasting it, and let me provide some other names over here. So it will be profile screen, the other one will be history, and the fourth one will be card screen. So you can name it as you want. Now let me show the tab navigator configuration. So over here we can see the create material bottom tab navigator, and here we have the route configs and material bottom tab navigator config, and here are the material tab configurations. Okay, so these are the properties which we can customize. So here we can see a sample of it. So we can see that we have different screens. So like album, we are having album screen, for history, for cart we are having the cart and history screen, and we have the initial route name. So here we are defining the initial route as this album screen will be displayed, and in our case we will display the home screen as our initial route, right? And after that we have the bar style. So for the bar style we have this background color, and for the icons we have this active color and the inactive color. Okay, so now let me show you all these configurations over here. So after this I will create const tab navigator equal to create material bottom tab navigator, and within this we need to provide these details, right? So first over here we can provide the route configs, as we have an example over here. So for this first I will provide the home, and for home we will provide screen, home screen, and after this home screen we need to add for other screen as well. And after this route navigation we need to provide this bottom tab navigator config, right? So we have this configuration. So now let me copy this. Okay, and for initial route we can provide home, and now we need to export create app container, and within this app container we need to provide this tab navigator. So this tab navigator where we have implemented this bottom tab navigator. So now save it. So now after saving it we can see that we have a layout where we can see the home screen, and over here we can see the home, but currently we don't see the icon yet, right? And if I try to click another section, then we can see that we have the tabs, but that is not visible currently, right? So we can see the cart, we can see the history, and the history screen is appearing, and we can see the profile screen is also appearing. So our bottom tab navigator is working properly, but it is not looking like what we actually want. So we need to implement some other things. So before I have mentioned that we need to install React Native vector icons to use this, but we haven't implemented that yet. So that's where we need to work on. So we need to display icons over here in the tab section, right? So for this over here we need to do some customizations. So over here we have navigation options, and for this navigation option I can provide tab bar label, icon, color, all these kind of things. So for the label I can leave it like this. So currently we can see that our label is showing as expected, so it is fetching the details from here. But if we want to change it, then we can mention it from this section. So let me show you. test. Okay, so now we can see that this become text, but I don't want that, so I can remove this tab bar label. Now we need to do tab bar icon. Here we will pass a color and this tab bar icon will render the icon. So over here we need to add the view and the icon which we want to display over here. So it will be first bracket, and over here we need to add the view, and within this view we need to have the icon, and this icon has been imported from this React Native vector icons, and I am using icons. So icon name I will provide iOS home icon, and for the style I will provide color as the color which we will pass through these arguments, and for the size I will give a size of 25. Now let's save it. Now we can see that we have a icon over here, right? So now let's implement this for all other screens as well. So we have navigation option, and for this profile I will use iOS person. For history I will use, let's say, iOS images, and then for the cart I will use iOS cart icon. Now let's save it. Now we can see that it's showing all the icons, but I want to modify it little further. I want to display a different colors. As we can see over here that whenever we are visiting any one tab of the screen, that time every tab have their unique color, right? So that's what I'm going to implement. So for that we need to add some other navigation options as well. So now as we can see over here that we have the active color, inactive color and bar style. So all these three things can be implemented for each tab as well. So now let me provide some color which I have shown you in my demo app. So I will paste those colors over here. So for the background color I will use this color. For inactive I have added this, and for active color I will use white color. So now saved it. Now we can see it's little bit prominent, we can see it more clearly. And now we will implement all these things for navigation options for every tabs. So after this we will add these details, and for the bar style I will add different color, and similarly for inactive color as well I have added different color. So now save it. So now I have implemented a default color which is now displaying, and different colors for the cart tab, right? So I am clicking on this cart tab. So now I can see that it has been changed, right? But all these three are the same. So now let me quickly do the changes for other tabs as well. So I am just fast forwarding it. So I have added the colors for the profile tab and the history tabs as well. And for the home tab I don't need to add anything because this is the default one. So for the default we have this active color, inactive color, bar style. So now if I visit every tab, then we can see that every tab has its own color and all the thing is working properly in iOS simulator. Now it's time for the Android one. Okay, so now for this we need to now recompile this for Android, and for this it will be run Android. So on the Android our app is running currently, and over here we can see that it is also working as expected, and we have the ripple effect as well over here, right? So this is the tutorial, guys. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and if you have any other suggestion for me, then also provide it in the comment section below. So I will see you in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.